Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, my students. How are you doing today? Okay, I hope you are all in a good condition, yeah. Okay, amen. Okay, today we meet again in this class with subject basic reading. Before we start our class today, let's start by saying Basmalah. Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today, we are going to learn about patterns of organizations. So here we will learn about the pattern of organization of the text. So if we read the text or we read maybe a story, we read magazine, we read newspaper, that is the pattern in the text. That is the pattern how the writer organize the sentences or the ideas into a good paragraph. So if we understand the patterns, we will understand the point of the text. So what is the importance of patterns? So let's see. Since the beginning of history, people have looked for patterns in the world around them. They looked at the mountains and saw the outlines of people's faces. They looked at the stars and saw animals and skies. Scientists say that it is human nature to look for patterns in what you see. Your brain is always trying to make sense of the world around you. It tries to fit everything into some kind of recognizable shape or pattern that has meaning for you. Patterns make it easier for your brain to understand and remember information. So if we look around us, we will find the pattern. If we see here, we will see our surrounding. That is the pattern around us. Here, if we read the text, we will see the pattern of the text. So if we know the pattern, it will help us to understand better and to remember information that is important. Okay, that's the importance of pattern to help us to understand and remember the information. In this chapter, we will learn to recognize four basic patterns that writers often use in developing their ideas. Finding the pattern helps you find the main idea. Thus, looking for pattern is a way to improve your comprehension while reading. The first pattern of organization of text is listing. So here in this pattern, the writer's main idea is stated in the form of a generalization. This is followed by a list of supporting details. So the main idea of the text of the paragraph is in the form of general sentence, general idea about the whole text. So the main ideas in the form of generalization. Then this generalization is followed by supporting details. So the rest of the sentences are the supporting details of the main idea. Here's the example. People have many different ideas about what makes a great vacation. Some people like to go for long walks in the forest where they won't see anyone for days. Others prefer to spend their holiday in an exciting city. There they can visit museums, theaters, and good restaurants. Still others enjoy the fresh air at the seashore. They can spend their days at the beach and listen to the ocean waves at night. A few people decide to stay at home, and some major household projects. They might spend their vacation painting a porch or washing all the windows in their apartment. So, the main idea of this paragraph is the general idea. People have many different ideas about what makes a great vacation. So it's about vacation, how people enjoy their vacation, how people do their vacation, and then how many different ideas about vacation that children mention. Look at the underlined words. They will tell you each time the author lists another way to spend a vacation. So the underlined words, can you find it? There are some, others, still others, a few people, So these words are signal words, So these signal words is the function like traffic signals. Each signal calls your attention to something, in this case other examples. So here the signal words for listing. The signal word for listing pattern is a few, several, numerous, the main, others, many, a variety, for example, another, in addition, besides, one, first, second, third, and last. So here are the examples of the signal words for listing pattern. The second pattern is sequence. So in this pattern, the writer's main idea includes a series, events, or steps that follow one after another. So sequence here means chronological, chronology. There's a chronological events or series or steps. Here, let's look at the example. Albert Einstein was born near the end of the 1800s in Ulm, Germany. He graduated from the University of Zurich in Switzerland at the age of 26. 14 years later, he won the Nobel Prize for Physics. For the next 10 years, he lived in Germany. Then in the early 1930s, he had to leave Germany because of Hitler and the Nazi Party. He moved to the United States, where he lived until the time of his death at the age of 74. He lived a long and productive life. In this paragraph, the main idea is Albert Einstein lived a long and productive life. The signal words have you noticed important events in his life. So the main idea is Albert Einstein lived a long and productive life. In signal words is, can you find the signal words? Near the end of the 1900s, at the age of 26, 14 years later, for the next 10 years, then in the early 1930s, for the next 10 years, until the time of his death at the age of 27. So the other signals words of sequence. Yeah. The example. So organization of the two kinds of material. If one's ordered by the time, example, history or biography, and steps in a process, for example, the steps in an experiment, direction for building something. Signal words for the sequence patterns are first, finally, next, later, last, before, after, while, at least, at the same time. Other signals words for this pattern are dates, years, times of the day, seasons, and plain numbers. So that's for the sequence pattern. Yeah. The third is comparison or contrast. So in this pattern, the writer's main idea explains similarities and or differences. So we compare about topic. So we compare the similarities and the differences about something, yeah, or someone. Example, visitors see similarities between New York and San Francisco. What cities, for example, are exciting cultural centers? They are equally attractive to people from many parts of the world. The cities are also alike because they both have many beautiful buildings, large, lovely parks, and grand bridges. On the other hand, the two cities have important differences. One difference is the lifestyle. New Yorkers are also in a hurry and are much less friendly than residents of San Francisco. The streets in this California city are very clean, unlike New York, where the streets are often dirty. Another major difference is safety. San Francisco has much less crime than New York. So the main idea of this paragraph is there are both similarities and differences between New York and San Francisco. So here we compare about New York and San Francisco. The signal words call your attention to its similarity or difference. The author mentioned the signal words some similarities, yeah, and then both, equally, also like. On the other hand, important differences, one difference, unlike, another major difference. So these words signals word comparison, yeah, or differences are about similarities, yeah. Here the comparison can include only similarities and also similarities and differences. A contrast include only the differences. Some signal words for the comparison contrast pattern, signals of difference. For example, however, in contrast, instead, more than, but, while, yet, less than, unlike, although, rather, on the other hand, conversely, different from. So here are the signals for difference, yeah, difference. Comparative form, objective, and adverb are also used to signal difference, like order, faster, quicker, better. They are for difference too. And what about the signal for similarity? So the signal for similarity is such as like, as, both, same, similarly, also, in the same way, and in common, and etc. Yeah. And the last pattern is cause effect. Yeah. When the main idea is that one event or action causes another. Other use the cause-effect pattern. Yeah. So the main ideas is about cause-effect event or action. The example here. In 1989, the Exxon Valdez oil tanker spilled millions of gallons of oil in Alaska's Prince William Sound. Biologists who have studied the local wildlife have noted the consequences of the spill. It has resulted in a great decline in the number of birds in the area. The spill has caused many young harbor seals to suffer from brain damage and death. Killer whales also felt the impact of the spill. Since 1989, more than one-third of the whale population has disappeared. So the main idea is the spill. The oil spill in Alaska resulted in many harmful effects on animals. Yeah. The signal words call your attention to each cause or effect the other mentioned. Here the text explains about the effect of the oil spill in Alaska, the effect or the results. The signal words are the consequences, result, has caused, and impact. They are the signal for cause and effect. Yeah. Cause and effects are part of our daily lives. Therefore, this pattern is found very often in history books, science texts, and novels. It is important to recognize the cause-effect pattern when you read, but it's not as easy as the other pattern. This is the example, cause-effect sentence. Because I forgot my umbrella, I was caught in the rain. So the cause here, because I forgot my umbrella, and the effect, I was caught in the rain. Or you can move the position here. I was caught in the rain because I forgot my umbrella. So in B, I was caught in the rain is the effect, and because I forgot my umbrella is the cause. Yeah. So what sentences? Because is the signal word. So if you want to understand it is cause-effect pattern or not, you ask yourself what happened first, and then you will know the cause. So let's see what is the pattern of this text. Yeah. Bologna progressive or leftist city government is the result of a number of historical factors. Many centuries of sometimes brutal rule under the popes undoubtedly influenced by Bolognese. During those years, they learned to distrust the church and all established power. By the early 20th century, there was already a strong leftist movement in Bologna. The Conservative parties further lost influence in the 1920s and 1930s. At that time, they supported the fascists and the Nazis. The leftists, on the other hand, gained influence in those years. So, can you find the pattern? Yeah, the pattern. Let's find the signal word first. What are the signal words? The result, yeah. Okay, the result. And then influence, yeah. So the result and then influence is signaled for yeah, cause effect pattern, yeah. Okay, that's so the pattern is cause effect. Okay, then next paragraph. In their fondness for Bologna, the Bolognese have given their city a number of nicknames. To some, it is known as Bologna the Red. This name comes in part from the strong leftist political tendencies of the city. To others, it is Bologna the Wise because of its university. The old university in Europe, the University of Bologna is still an important intellectual and cultural center. And finally, some like to think of Bologna as the fat, a paradise for food lovers. And indeed, the local cooking tends toward richness and plenty. Delicate stomachs, be careful. So let's find the signal word first. Can you find? Yeah, there are to some, yeah, to some. Then what else? To others, yeah, to others. And finally, yeah, and some, yeah, found. And finally, some, yeah, some. And indeed, and indeed. So what is the pattern? Yeah. Okay, that is listing, yeah, listing. Okay. I think that's all for our lesson today. Yeah, I hope you understand our material today. Okay, so let's close our class by saying Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. Okay, thank you for your attention today. I hope by learning you will develop your skill, yeah, and your knowledge by learning the material. Okay, see you next meeting. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.